Well, it's the calm before the storm. Let's see what it looks like. So many things go through your head. You're like, oh, should I be moving something? The thing is that when you're set stocked on these hills, it's natural lambing. These girls go out there, the ewes, the cows are out there, they're ready to go. They get to lamb pretty naturally on grass, out on hills. When a storm comes in like this, there's not too many options. So if I brought all my ewes down onto the flat paddocks where the lower country, less snow, and all the snow's up the top, then with ewes, with lambs at foot, they get mismothered, and then it would be worse. And then if I bring them down, then I have to take them back up. And how do I keep them in their paddocks? So there's no way that you can keep consistent grazing. Let's see what happens in the next couple of days. So snow down to 700 metres. So the top of the farm is 600 metres. So hopefully we don't quite get any snow, but you just never know. Well, so much for snow. Beautiful day today. It's 6:15. Close to 6:15, and it's just fresh out there. As you can see, this is where all the cool kids hang out. Every morning the lambs gang up and they come and play around at the tank. It's usually a good group of them, just living the dream. It's quite cool to see, but when it gets wet, this whole area gets all muddy because they play around here all the time. These steers are done on the crop down there, so last night I just let them out into these nice paddocks. So they've obviously had a nibble. I was a bit worried last night, to be honest, about bloat, because those boys down there are on around about 1800 cover with 30% clover straight off crop. But yeah, I'm going to have to put some bloat oil in the water troughs. So bloat oil is rumensin. It's like an oil that they have to drink. You mix it within the water trough, they drink it, and then it releases gas from their rumen, I guess, more easily. Because if that gas builds up, which generally happens if they have too much clover too quickly and they're not used to it, sometimes it can happen just out of the blue too, even if when they're transition. So I generally don't lose any, but it's a real problem when you have a large amount of clover in your pastures, and also you have covers. You know, if you have 2,000 cover, so enough that the cattle have no limitation on eating, then they can easily get bloat. So I've got to watch out for that. You know, losing one or two cattle beasts can really take profitability out of growing these boys. So yeah, these fellas will be really happy getting out on the grass, and because it's a little bit earlier than other years that I've taken them off the crop, I'm hoping that they grow faster. We've had a great spring, so I've been able to get my covers up on these flats. Yeah, so yeah, I don't want them to eat as too much and take the pasture from underneath my earlies, because they're really important to get away at a good weight. The whole idea of these early ewes is to create a big fat lamb and a big fat ewe, so yeah, I don't want to take away from that. But these boys are very profitable this year, so it's going to be awesome to get them fat early. Now, although I spread these steers out yesterday, today is a new day. They do need a drench, a copper and a selenium, so I was going to give them... Go on, get up! I was going to give them it today, but I was hoping to beat the rain, because I'm giving them a pour-on drench. I can't do it in the rain. Well, I think I'll just get the guys in and let them empty out a bit, and then if it clears off, then I'll give them a pour on in their copper and selenium. It says only 0.4 of a mil, but maybe I should look at the other weather app. The feed in here, that's my hand, and that's the feed. So plenty of feed and a lot of clover. So this stuff, but cattle beastie rips that out. Don't know what he'd have. He might have 25% clover, 20, maybe a bit less actually, but a lot of clover in there. Just gotta watch out for bloat. And they're so used to being on crop, they follow me around. It'll be a bit easier on them than having a pit behind them, nipping at their heels. Got them. Just gonna get the ones out of airstrip, and then I'll do the ones in that paddock and way down there later on. What? Wow, these boys happen to be all the way up there. And it's definitely spring, isn't it? It was spitting before, and now it's a beautiful day. Probably should have started them from the fence line. Guys! Oh, bollock. There you go. I'm going to give them 3 mils of copper, 5 mils of selenium. Got the selenium set up, and I've had the copper in my pocket while I was getting them in. So copper's quite thick, and it doesn't go in very well into the gun and out of the gun and into the animal very well when it's cold. So I've just had that in my pocket, just mix it up. And we've got this little copper gun here. It's quite handy actually, and it's got a certain amount of mils dosing. Just set it, which is quite cool. So just set that to, we'll set that to 3 mil, and we'll give them 3 mil. And I'm going to run a few in and give them a bit of a weigh. So probably weigh 10 or so, and it'll give me a rough average on these boys, and then I can know if they're gaining weight. Well, here we go. He's 412, I think it was. 424. Rightio. You can go, boy. Who's going next? Oh, big guy. Well, he's only light. 394. Come on, boys, turn around. Come, fella. Up you go. Good boy. Not very big, are they? Well, there we go, the first line weighed. So how many is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It'll tell me on here too. I'll just get out of this, draft numbers, 10, draft weights, oh no, end. We'll go back. This, draft weights. 407 kgs average. What's today, the 18th, is it? Yeah, 18th of September. So yeah, I know that weight, and next time they come in, I'll be able to go off that. Well, because it's really hard in a race to keep 4 in there and jab them, I'm just going to do the last 4 through the crush. Well, that's them done. 41 in here, I'll count them on the way out, and then there's just the 11 down here to do, plus there's 2 others that were both of them had sore hips. One's an R2 and one's an R1, so I'll do them after I spread these out and then chuck them back in these couple paddocks here. 400 kilos average, it's not really ideal, is it? That means I have to gain 240 kilos on them before they can go to the works, which will be a push before Christmas. And then I'd say beef and lamb have come out with an average dollars per kg carcass weight of, I think it's like $5.60. $5.60 is a big difference compared to now, or before Christmas. I'd say it'll be above 6, and right now it's probably well, it's 7ish, 7 something. Faster that these boys can get off the farm, the better for our bank account and for them, really. Copper really affects animals. They can really feel it. Actually, it's really bad for humans too. If you ever get jabbed with a bit of copper, you generally have to go straight to the ED, or at least be calling the poisons hotline. And yeah, it's pretty bad for you. And these boys, 400 kilos, 3 mils is probably on the max by this size animal. Come on, Gus, get him on! She should be sitting. Right, well, 20 up into here. I'm going to put 10 now in here and 10 up in that next little paddock, because there is some feed in there. Amazing feed. It's too long for lambs. 6, 12, 14. There you go. So I'll pop 10 up there. Sit down, pup. You boys stay there. Leave these boys on the road, they'll have a nibble. So I'm trying to use pups left and right a bit more. Sit down, pup. Just to, hopefully, she might be have left and right on her this summer. Sit down. Get up, dog. Sit down, pup. 8, 10. Go, fella. Boy. Go and get up, Gus. Go and get up, pup. Thing about this time of year is the mess that these boys make. Not ideal. Hey, fella. What can you do? You can't really do much, can you? Apart from put them on crop, but don't have any crop left. Yeah, it's better just spreading them out, having them in smaller mobs, and that's why yesterday I spread them out, even though I got them in again today. Yesterday it was supposed to rain a lot more. Well, it could have rained a lot more than what it did. It said that we were going to get snow, and I don't know anyone who did. Pretty lucky there. Sit down, pup. 2. Sit, Gus. 3, 4. Go on, sit down, Gus. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Oh, fellas. Good boy. Stay there, fella. Sit down, Enoho. Sit down, pup. Stay there. Will I go, Gus? 2, 4. No, there's 5. 3, 4, 5. I'll let one more out here. That makes sense. 12, 5, 4, 20. Wow, there's some good tucker in here. This is older grass, but yeah, fair bit of feed. So cattle beastie will be able to get his chomper around that. Have a good nibble. Bit of clover too. So yeah. Hey, pup, while I go, pup, get on. So we'll get these boys in. Got these 8 in from that far paddock. I've just got to get these other 4, 5 in. Gus is just holding them here for me. So he's supposed to be getting them. So I might just open this gate and see if he'll bring them in for me. Those boys should lure them. That dog is a maggot, that one. But he does a lot of work for me, old Gus. So I gave the fella with a sore hip and the small one, the yearling, I gave them a copper. Oh, Gus! So it might be him. So I don't want to give, oh, Gus! I don't want to give him another 3 mils worth of copper because he won't be deficient. Or good boys. So that's why I wanted to bring them in separately, because I didn't think I'd be able to spot them out, to be honest. We'll see how we go here. Oh, it could have been a disaster. Gus. Might have to get Duke. Enoho. Gus. Duke. Stay there. Yep. Go and sit down, Duke. This is not good stockmanship. Stay there. Gus! Don't eat the crap. Come on. Enoho. Good dogs. Alright, go and get up, Duke. Go and get up, Gus. God, get out of it, Gus. Don't sit in that. Oh, no. You're not coming out. Well, I go, Gus. Don't bloody drink out of the shit pond. Come on, Gus. Well, I go, Gus. Yeah. Well, I go, Gus. There's a trough right here. You go, mate. Don't drink out of the shit pond, thanks. I know there was a lot of work for you. Well, it must be him. Yeah, so I'll just give him 2 mil of copper. And he had copper. Oh, and those other 3 need 3 mil of copper, 5 mils of selenium, and I'll give them all a drench pour on. So yeah, so he had quite a sore hip, and so did that yearling. It's come right. I think it was because I didn't give them a copper early enough. Last few years I've given them a copper actually before weaning, whereas last year I didn't give them a copper until, it might have been a couple of months after weaning. and I really think I should have, and yeah, that was my muck up. So I think that's why I actually had 2 of these steers that had sore hips like that, and it might have been from a dog hitting them and them tripping over themselves and hurting their hip, or it might have been from in the yards here, because these steel yards are quite hard on cattle. Wooden yards are a little bit softer generally, but I mean, jeepers, can't complain about these things. These are pretty handy. These are pretty good cattle yards. Anyway, let's get into it, get it done. Ready to go, boys. These boys, generally you have to get them going good. Give them a bit of a hurry up just before the gate, otherwise I'll just turn around on you. Go on, get up, Gus! Hey, 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 hey! Hey, 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 hey! Go on, boys. Go on, get up, Gus! Go, fella! Up, 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 up! That's how it should work. Go on, boys! Up you go! Switch that. A little bit slow. Go on, boys. Go on, fella. Can be a little bit slippery there. Going around that corner. So we'll push those stairs down, and these boys can find their own way out. Let's go, Duke. Pip loves cattle. Just can't get enough of them. She likes eating them. Eating their heels. Hey, pup. Will I go, pup? Well, there you go. So yeah, copper, selenium, drench to those 52 steers, and other 2 crook ones that were crook. Obviously got a drench too. So there we go. Hope that was half interesting, and thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one, and yeah, really appreciate you watching. Alright, bye now.